if you want to be happy for an hour, eat a steak.
Okay. I love that.
If you want to be happy for a day, go golfing.
Okay.
If you want to be happy for a week, go on a cruise.
Okay.
If you want to be happy for a month, buy a new car.
Okay.
But if you want to be happy in life, find something that you love and you're passionate about and you can do every single day, and you can return to it and know that you're showing up for the life that you wanted every single day.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Massive and Passive Income Show.
That's Jason.
Hi, Jason.
And I am Colter.
And we are glad to be back.
Yes, we are. We're going to talk about passion, mindset, happiness, and goals, and like just how do we make sure that we drive towards something that we absolutely love and that we are good at, that we will be the best at because we know that we can be, and that we're going to go after it until we've arrived at that being the best.
I love that. And let's break down passion. I think passion is one of my favorite things out there. A lot of people, align passion with love, and that is passion. But passion for life or passion for what you do, man, you cannot replicate that or fake that. Passion for, like a lot of people, we're a pretty loud family, and if you know me, I'm a pretty loud person, and so everything we do is out loud. And my kids are the exact same. My wife is not. She's got different passions, but she's not a loud passion person. And so all my kids come home and we're around the dinner table. It is loud. And we all are talking, we're having fun, whatever else. And she's got the point where she'll just walk in the back room. She'll leave. She won't say anything. She'll go in the back room. She comes back with earplugs in her ears. So that it doesn't drive her crazy, because we have hardwood floors and it vaults the ceiling. And it's just loud. So I tell people all the time, wow, your family's loud, or your daughter's loud, or you're loud. I'm like, we're not loud. We're not arguing. We're passionate people. And that's what it is. And when you see somebody passionate about something they do, I love it because they have found something that they love doing, that they are good at, and you can see that passion come out. When somebody's an awesome salesperson, man, there's nothing that makes me happier when you can feel that passion of that. Or if they are passionate about podcasting, passionate about real estate, passionate about whatever it is, being a mom, you can feel that passion. And so if you're doing something you're not very passionate about, I think you're missing out on a key thing in life. And maybe your work, your day job maybe isn't very passionate. You need to find a hobby that you're passionate about, because if you don't, you're going to die inside. I really believe that.
I totally agree. And I think that when I think about passion, there are people that will just kind of go through the run-of-the-mill, the day, the wake up, eat breakfast, go to work, eat, go to bed, and just kind of rinse and repeat.
Yep.
And when it comes to passion and what we're pursuing, I think about people that, and a decision that I made early on in my career is that I would never share, sell, or promote anything that I wasn't truly passionate about. And by me making that decision, I knew that I wasn't going to just sell a trinket because it could make me the most money. I was going to introduce things that I actually believed in, that worked for me, and that I knew that if I was going to introduce it to this person, it could work for them.
Yeah.
And I would not compromise my ability to promote myself and that product just because of the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
And that decision for me was early on of, I know that this works for me, it's good for this person if they will just take it and they'll run with it the same way that I have.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because like my daughter, she went out and she sold alarm systems. She goes, man, I'm having a really tough time, getting going to selling alarm systems door to door. And I was like, do you believe that your company and the product that you offer is the best alarm company and system out there? Yeah, bar none. I was like, do you believe that people will be safer and they will have a more enjoyable life by having your system in their house? She paused. She goes, I don't know. I was like, then you've got to know that. I said, as soon as you know both those answers, both those questions, you'll be able to naturally sell, because your passion, your conviction will come out. You show up and are like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. And all you're thinking about is how much money you're going to make and what that's going to do for you and your family. I mean, that's motivation, but you can't sell motivation. You got to sell your passion, that this is the best product. It's going to bless your family. And if you don't buy it, you will not be as blessed, you will not be as safe, and your life will not be better. But it will be all of those if you buy this product. You can feel that, they can feel that, you're going to naturally sell. Yeah. And it took her a little bit to figure that out. But once she did, man, she went crazy. She sold that great. And then she switched and went to solar. And then went to Y for a week. And again, I had that conversation with her again. You got to make sure that, and she goes, yeah, I've already got that figured out. I know it is. I know it's the best thing for people. It's going to save them money. It's going to do this for them, this for them, this for them. She sold the most out of anybody there for that week.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Good for her.
And I think it's just because you got to find out, just like what you said, I can stand behind this. People's lives are going to be better because of this product, and this is the best product on the planet.
Yeah. Well, I bet she was so much happier after she figured that out for herself that, hey, you know what? This is actually the best thing for these people as I have these conversations.
Yeah.
And if they will use it, and if they will put that in their home, it's going to be more positive for them and protect their families, bless their lives. So, and I think about happiness, and let me just share an analogy here of, if you want to be happy for an hour, eat a steak.
Okay. I love that.
If you want to be happy for a day, go golfing.
Okay.
If you want to be happy for a week, go on a cruise.
Okay.
If you want to be happy for a month, buy a new car.
Okay.
But if you want to be happy in life, find something that you love and you're passionate about and you can do every single day, and you can return to it and know that you're showing up for the life that you wanted every single day. Martin Luther King shared an example of this, and obviously this is decades ago, but he talked about a shoe shiner that he would go to, and he loved going to this man that would shine his shoes. And when you told him, and you gave him the money, but then you told him that you appreciated how good of a job he did, he said, that's why I showed up, because that man just beamed. Because he knew that he delivered the product that he had promised to the man that came in to get his shoes shined. And I think about that, and whatever our job is, whatever our profession, whatever it is that we decide to spend every single day on, is figure out how to be passionate about it and to share that and to deliver that product, that service, that value to whoever it is in the community that will find value in it, and be passionate about it and love it, and you will find happiness.
I love that. That's a great way to put that. It really is, because I think too many people are missing that aspect. And I loved how you broke it down, like happy for an hour. Man, I love myself a good prime rib. and happy for a week and happy for a month. I mean, who isn't happy about a new car for at least a month? But after a month goes by and it gets dirty, and maybe they have a recall on something, and you
make that first payment.
Exactly. Like, oh. Then you're like, man, do I really need this new car? My old one was just fine. You know what's funny is, saying that about the new car thing is we had this Honda Pilot, and we were thinking, man, we need to sell this thing. Maybe we just get something new, get a new product or a new car. So I took my wife. I'm like, hey, I'm going to put this on Facebook Marketplace, or back then I think it was Craigslist. But I said, I'm going to get it detailed. So I went and got it detailed, spent I don't know how much money. I jumped in it, drove away. I'm like, I don't want to sell this car. This is flipping nice. It just, we 3 kids had beaten the crap out of it, and fries and whatever else all over the place. It smelled. But that new car smell and looking brand new. We kept it. We kept it for another couple of years, and it was just because it felt new. It was new. It wasn't the same old. Mm-hmm. And so I love that. Find something you love to do. Find something that helps other people. I think is another important part, and that is really happiness.
Yeah.
And I love what you said about complimenting somebody. I don't think as a society, we really compliment people as much as we should. I try every day that somebody's doing something or somebody's done something for me to stare at them in the eye, shake them in the hand, and say, thank you so much. You are awesome at what you do. And like you said, they light up. And sometimes they'll say, oh, no, I'm not. And I always grab them and say, no. You need to learn how to take a compliment. I just complimented you. You're awesome. And it's okay to say thanks. Mm-hmm. So I said, what you say when somebody says this to you, thanks a lot, I really appreciate it. Don't hem and haw and drop your head. Yeah. I said, look them straight in the eye and say thank you, because you are good at what you do. So learn how to take a compliment. I learned that from my wife.
And I learned that at lunch one time. with an attorney, and this was years ago, probably a decade ago, and I was sitting down with him, and he asked the waitress's name, and he asked her, hey, how are you doing today? And I'm really glad that you're here to serve us, and you know what, my name is X. And anyways, when he did that, and then I asked him, I said, do you do that with every waiter, waitress? And he says, yeah, I love to get to know who's waiting on me, who's serving me. And I've done that ever since. And I try to figure out their name, and I want to know a little bit about them. And I don't necessarily want them to come and hang out and sit at the table.
Yeah.
But what I want is I want them to feel like we care about them, which means that then in turn they'll care about our table.
Yep.
Because we care that there's kind of this mutual relationship. As they serve us, we are going to serve them. And I like to tip, and I like, all of those things make it so that people feel good to have been served by you as they've served you.
Yeah. There was a gal that we were at a restaurant with, and she was doing a horrible job. She was forgetting orders. She wasn't filling our drinks. A lot of times we couldn't even get to her. It was just horrible. And the people I was with, they were tipped. They were so mad. They got his food wrong and her food wrong and whatever else. I'm like, all right, this gal can't be a waitress for this long if something's not messed up in her life right now. Like, so what's going on, So anyway, she showed up at the table, and she's like, I'm so sorry. And she had her hand on the table, and I just touched her hand just for a second, and I was like, are you okay? You seem really frustrated or maybe not happy. She burst into tears. Immediately burst into tears. And everybody at the table, you could have heard a pin drop. Because nobody wants somebody to feel bad or feel horrible. And they were all complaining and wanted their food for free. But it changed the atmosphere completely. And she goes, it's been a horrible day. And I'm like, no problem. We all have horrible days. I said, no problem. We are all okay. I looked at them all. We're all okay. Don't worry about us at all. We all got this size because we eat no matter what it is. It doesn't matter what the food was, whether you got it wrong. Don't worry about it, okay? I said, we're here for you. And she went away, and I'm telling you what, it changed the way she did the whole night. She got things right. She started coming by because she didn't feel frustrated. And I gave her a $100 tip. And we walked out, and she chased me in the parking lot. She goes, I was horrible. I was like, look, we all have horrible days. I said, me not tipping you because you have a horrible day? That's not right. I said, looks like you could use that more than I. And she goes, you don't have any idea what this does for me tonight. I'm like, you were awesome. Don't worry about it all. And what's funny is my buddies, they're all like, I can't believe you did that. But once they saw what happened, they're like, we're jerks. I'm like, it's just fine. And not to toot my own horn, but I'm the same way. I love to learn about these people. They're having a bad day. It's not because they're a horrible waitress. People aren't horrible. I guess there is some horrible people, but for 90%...
Don't generalize like everybody's perfect, Jason.
But everybody has bad days. Everybody has things that go on in their life. We have no idea what they're going through. We have no idea what they left their home like. We have no idea what argument they had with their spouse or their kid, or maybe what their school just called and said what their kid did. Or maybe they're sick, or maybe they just got some horrible news about a parent. We have no idea. And so for us to give them space to feel whatever they need to feel, regardless on what's going on, that, man, I'm just huge on giving people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Well, and I think about a couple episodes we talked about living internally versus externally.
Yeah.
And just how we're impacted by different aspects of our history as, growing up to who we are today and what that does to us on an internal, emotional, and physical, and just a general approach standpoint to an external, and what we're looking for and seeking for in satisfying our needs.
Yeah.
And what we need as people. So
because kind of like we talked about last week, her screwing up my order is my 15-year-old coming out of me and getting mad at her for screwing up my order. Me as an adult, if I'm there present, hey, it's inconvenient. I'd like it corrected because I don't like whatever it is, but I'm okay. I'm not going to burn up. I'm not going to, my comfortability is only going to be maybe 20 minutes longer to get my food or get it corrected. So I'm not saying I'll eat whatever it is. Something I don't like, I'm like, hey, this is exactly what I ordered. Could we fix this? Yeah, no problem. I'm okay to wait. I'm okay that it happens because things happen. But to get mad at somebody for, I can't believe you did that. I want my meal for free. That's not the adult showing up. That's the 12-year-old who just got his toy taken away or didn't get the exact soda pop that he wanted.
Yeah, it's the 7-year-old that didn't want the broccoli. You know?
Exactly. It's so true. And the more we can live internally and not look for external validation or external things run our lives, our whole life will change. Our whole game. It really is a game changer. And I'm just barely into this. I'm just learning about it. And you'd be surprised at what my kids and my wife have said just in the 2 weeks that I've learned about it. Just taking back, instead of letting that child out, instead of letting that external influence be like, no, this is supposed to be like this, to just say, okay, what's going on? Hey, I want to show up for this. Normally, an adult person would not get upset because of this, you know? Mm-hmm. And then you think rational, you're not thinking as a child, and it's amazing how different your afternoon, your evening, or your day, whatever ends up, it happening in, what a difference that'll make in your day.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us today. We've talked about happiness and passion and living internal, external. And at the end of the day, we want to improve who we are as individuals so that we can become the person that we want to become. And it's a day-by-day thing. This does not just happen overnight to where we become all of a sudden that perfect, vision of ourselves. And so seek happiness, seek passion, go after your dreams and goals. And
can I throw a challenge out?
Yes, do it, please.
I challenge everybody out there right now that's listening, the 2 people that are listening to our podcast. I want to challenge you that when you listen to this, that if someone's having a bad day, if you have a waitress that's done a horrible job, the worst you've ever had, your food didn't turn out the way it was, try to get to know that person, find out what's going on, and leave them a big tip. I'm telling you what, if they don't even come and say thanks, you'll leave that experience so much different than if you let that ruin your whole night. Regardless of whether you have to stop at Maverick and get their burrito because whatever it was that they gave you, you couldn't even eat it. I challenge you to do that because I'm telling you what, I think if we did more of that type of living, I think our whole world would be different.
I totally agree. Well, approach life with that service mentality and treat people with kindness and love. So I love the challenge. So what are we doing? We're going to serve somebody.
Yep.
Or get to know somebody that seems like having a hard day, and give them something. Whether that's a big tip or you end up giving them a hug at the end of the conversation.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Do something there. So, well, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
For the conversation, Jason. It's always insightful. And like, comment, share. Please join us on this journey. We want to improve with you, and look forward to doing that.